Hello everyone, Dave here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for Tear Us Apart #1. This is a new book from Dark Horse Comics. This was on my radar because it is a #1 from Dark Horse, so I usually check out their stuff. So let's take a look at the creative team before we get into this. This is written by Baruchel and Jensen, illustrated by Alessandro Micelli, with letters by Taylor Esposito. We'll talk about all the stuff, but let me tell you, there's some really incredible art in here in this book, which I'm very excited to talk about. So let's get into the synopsis. Deep in the Canadian wilderness, a vicious cult dedicated to an ideology of pain trains children to become deadly assassins. In the midst of the world of cruelty, two teenagers break the cardinal rule by falling in love. The only thing standing between them and happily ever after is an army of murderers with a taste for blood. Just that premise sounds pretty rad. Although I hadn't read the premise when I got into the book, so it was really. So I will say the book definitely communicates all this stuff in a very efficient way. You're kind of drawn into this world very quickly, with a beautiful art, quick pacing, like. Things escalate very quickly as soon as we get there, to just show you that the stakes are very high. And this first issue really makes its way to that point where you really get the whole story. You get to know a little bit about the characters. You get to know a little bit about this world, and what's going on. There are some rules. There are different characters that feel a spirit of competition even amongst this cult, which is really interesting. Like the psychology of the people that are involved in this, I think it's really interesting. So now let's take a look at some of the preview art, because the art is what kind of hooked me to make sure that I want to keep reading this. These are the first 3 pages, and like I said, very quickly, like up until this point, like in these few panels, right? This is probably less than 15 panels where it gets us everything we need to know. We realize that it's going to be, just from the tone and the coloring, a very dark book. And then we see the expressions. We get to see the chanting. I think the lettering, Esposito does a really good job when it comes to the kids responding as a group, to really highlight that with the big letters outside of the bubbles. The co-leader that's introduced, and then just like we get to this point, and then you turn the page, and boom, like gigantic, like who knows what's going on there. Like I think we're gonna go more into this, and we're gonna explore these abilities and this willingness to just explode a child, and then everybody's ambivalence towards what's happening. So yeah, look at that. I love the use of color as well. I think Micelli is doing a really bang up job of just highlighting that, the use of the colors, the different colors as the body kind of explodes, and then the blood, like just in contrast with everything that's been set up, because everything is in this blue wash, right? So yeah, it's just a really, really interesting premise, really interesting book. And like I said, the pacing moves very quickly to get to that goal of like, okay, there are 2 kids that don't want to be part of this anymore. How are they going to deal with it? And that's where the conflict begins. Well, more of the conflict even begins, right? So very excited to see where this goes. It was a very quick read as well, which I really appreciated. In a week full of comics, especially for a #1, you want to get in, get out, hook your reader, and this did all those things very efficiently. So highly, highly recommend you check this out if you're interested in that kind of story. So as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. We are very close to 2,000 subscribers, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so we get there. And stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.